Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't missed too much overall. It's still the first map, it's still the first round of Vigil. Feila making decent time through third point, and immediately they're trying to go into last with an Uber. It's going to be traded out. You're taking the brunt of it. They're going to take care of that sentry gun, but Joe does get stabbed, and they're looking to repush in, but they don't have too many picks.
So right now what we can see is that this is the second failed push from Feila, losing a lot of players. There's no delta on the side of GABAGOOL, no spy and no scout, so the flank might be overwhelmed. Their turn is trying to lurk off on the spam on the flank along with BB, so this might be an actual sandwich. There's 4 players down on the side of GABAGOOL. They just have the 2-player respawn. Now something might happen. Maybe Raylan getting the sniper, and Wiethoofd is going down. Medic is being challenged, so down on the HP. Tune actually doesn't get out. BB gets the spam scatter gun onto it. Red tries to just fall into, and now this might be an actual spam and damage overwhelming on the side of Feila, but they're managing to lose players at the moment.
Yeah, Honjo going in and taking out Harry, and not long after June had been claimed. So big play from Raylan coming in there, but they're not able to make the most of it at the moment. Feila looking for a repush, position up Amatrade, jumping once more in towards June, but does get hit by a nice pipe from Yak, cleaned up, and that was just about the only person committing there.
I mean, like, they have to make something happen, whether it's going to be a cat and mouse play, like they have to move the medic out, so for example a sniper can get onto it or make something happen. Right now this is going to be a passive gameplay until somebody makes a play, a pick. There's no Raylan, no information, no sandwich push onto it. Right now only BB and might be an actual cafe push from the side of Feila. And from what I see, Brian gets picked down by the fuck Wizard. So right now the open sideline is good to go for Wizard at the moment. And we all know, if you got an aim god like Wizard, for example, you might see things happening. But at the same time, Uber exchange.
They just walked onto it. Like, good exchange, good cap, and there was no demo man up for the defense, so they weren't able to block it. No one occupying cafe either. Just a little bit eyes off the ball there from GABAGOOL. Just weren't expecting. Just everyone just flood on the point, and it was just a nice little, taking advantage of that demo pit, getting rid of that sentry gun, and those are the 2 main classes that deny you walking through main. And once they were taken out of the equation, it's very easy for Feila.
I mean, to be fair, if you get onto the card without, contesting a demo man that potentially spams, and to be fair, Delt could have jumped in late, saved the last second, so Artener could do the spam, but somehow they just didn't realize that the cart was already on top of the roller, so it couldn't roll back. And then basically just Kirek and Kuri was on the cart, so it got pushed in. And we are currently working with 7 minutes on the side of Feila.
Yeah, I'd say this time is kind of slow-ish on Vigil. It's definitely not terrible. It's definitely, workable for both sides. But Vigil tends to be a little bit faster. This kind of phase that we've seen where you get very quick through the first 3 points and then take a little bit longer on last is pretty common. So nothing too out of the ordinary so far.
Potentially this is like a 1 minute plus onto the timer with the average time of 45 or 6 minutes. Yeah, Vigil is mostly a faster paced map, but this is the first round. We are going to see how these teams actually heat up. And Wizard goes down to Brian, so this might actually open up some opportunities. And right now what we can see is the sniper opening up sidelines. There's no engineer here now basically just focusing on the card, delaying as much cap time on it as possible on first, because usually teams actually just give up first just to get a proper second hold, which is totally fine. But if you can manage, you can definitely scrap up a lot of time on first if you have a proper hold.
Yeah, I think getting an extra like 30 seconds or a minute off the time just by committing hard to block that cart can be pretty nice for you later on in the game, as long as you don't lose players. Particularly losing players late on this point is really, really bad. They are going to lose Raylan, but that's going to be the only casualty for Feila as they safely move themselves back to second for this hold, and expecting bomb actually coming in from Honjo, gets launched away by that wrangled sentry gun, cleaned up as well. That was a sack attempt onto Harry, but he's nice and safe for now.
Actually, Venom goes down to Edge. Edge is getting cleaned up, but no tank class on the side of Feila. Right now, the Uber exchange is what we can see. Currently, the spam is coming out. Jude kind of barely gets out from the spam, and right now there's railing back into the cleanup crew, who cleans up the Buck Wizard, and Joe gets Kirik too. So this might be just basically a 2v2 player advantage.
They'd pick onto Arantria and Venom, but they're not making too much progress through this side tunnel. There's no real good classes with that soldier and that heavy down to watch it, but honestly, the GABAGOOL side didn't make the most of that, and now a snipe from Brian onto Yak. There is a decent pick onto Yawn, but it's probably not exactly what they would have wanted. Venom is down once more, so maybe an opportunity to go for a jump, but it's still a sentry gun to do it with.
It's so unfortunate that losing your tank class, like your heavy, on defense is not really manageable. Like the last time we've seen like Venom dying in shadows, I kind of wanted to question like, what are they doing? Right now what we see is just basically a reset from both sides. We have an equal Ubers, and this might potentially be a probably a cliff hold, or actually a cliff push. Like Wizard is getting picked down once again. There is no Edge, no Spy, no pick classes to work around, so GABAGOOL has to be playing passively if they want to scrap off some opportunities. But right now they're starting to lose players. Brian is not playing Body Shot Brian anymore. Okay, as soon as I said it, of course he gets a Body Shot, but currently, what is happening? Feila is currently on the cleanup crew.
Yeah, Raylan just comes in from behind, takes out June. That's going to be considerable Uber advantage for Harry now, who is fairly uncontested so far. And I mean, playing Medic on this point can be pretty gruesome. There can be so many things flying at your face, but there hasn't been too much pressure thus far. Yak is trying to make a change to that. Honjo is deep in as well. But Harry is nicely protected by his pyro, by his dispenser. They take out the dispenser, but that's about all they get with the sack wave.
You also have to count it. It's already 3.5 minutes, so we are down by more than half of the entire game at the moment, like the round. So this is the third, I'm pretty sure, the third failed push on the GABAGOOL side. So I don't know. This might be a side tunnel try. We could see Corey's trying to edge into the card and now getting some pressure out. But in side tunnel, Delta is getting cleaned up again. There's no Wizard to play on a hill, so I don't think this kind of works out for GABAGOOL, especially if they're losing important players on a push. Uber is getting out once again, but I'm the wasted one since they just decide to back out. There's no AJ, no Corey, no Omger, so they just wait for the respawn once again, and the clock is down by sub 3 minutes.
Yeah, they took out the sentry gun with that Uber, but got no position beyond that at all, and no kind of purchase onto the cliff. It's going to actually be BB taken out. I didn't even realize BB was playing Scout. I thought it was meant to be no, sorry. Was it meant to be Kanga, right?
I guess it was supposed to be playing, but you know how's BB, the relationship BB has with Feila. Abusive relationship. They always leave each other. For some reason, in important times, they come back once again together. And AJ's on the card. Yeah, god damn it, there's no sap onto the gun.
And Harry doesn't quite have Uber there. They've tried to use in, they've got rid of the sentry gun. Only now is Harry getting Uber, but they're going to flash onto BB, going to flash onto Yon. Chasing into tunnel is a potential opportunity now for repush. Honjo in the air has to deal with crits from Exumed. There's BB on the chase as well. He's going to take out Honjo, and no one else from GABAGOOL is even able to leave tunnel.
I don't know, this looks kind of rough on the time, especially for GABAGOOL. Fourth failed push, and they keep losing players. Like, just play together, get some heals, and decide where you want to go in. Do not spread out like butter if you get picked down one by one. Right now, there's no pyro on the side of Feila. This could be a potential push if you give heals to Yag, but everybody's so low on the side of Gaba, and right now they're eating all of the spam. June dies, the whole team gets cleaned up. Honjo is 7 HP, and they immediately lose 1 million players onto it. They keep on feeding.
How does so many players go down into a single bomb from a soldier? I mean, Aaron's a beast, but did way too much work there. They were not ready for him coming in. With the black box as well, you only have 3 rockets. How is he able to do so much damage?
And just C-tap, bro. Just C-tap. Play on Tempest and C-tap.
Crazy stuff. There is an Uber out into tunnel, though, with only 44 seconds left. I don't think it's possible.
It is getting June. Like June is walking in a straight line. June, like, I'm out? What was happening?
Maybe brain timeout. Either way.
Yeah, the Caster BM was sponsored by Dave the Irit.
I don't think it really mattered at the end of the day. I think the time is already over at this stage, man. And this is going to be demoralizing. Not even being able to push this second point. The second point is obviously one of the stronger holds on this map. Certainly up there with that last point as the strongest hold on this map. But to be honest, GABAGOOL never looked like breaking it.
I mean, fifth failed push. Oh my god, Raylan gets the dab on Delt, like, happening. Okay, like, in terms of strategies, like, GABAGOOL lost a lot of players and didn't really work with what picks do they have. So, and also prioritizing picks is always the more important. Like, what do you want to achieve? Good card time, you could go basically play on main along with your heavy, wait for a sap, and perhaps wait for a soldier call so you could go back in and, you know, split the attention, and also the enemy team or the team that is currently on defense, like, might be watching or being cautious of. So you either spread out with heals and with all players, or you try to prioritize picks. Like, if you have a pyro pick, you obviously try to go for a more aggressive to a spam stance. If you have a sniper pick, which kind of more favorable, since you can just immediately walk on the shortest path on top, especially with your pyro demo up front, so you can deny jumpers and spammers. You could ultimately get your heavy on a favorable position of getting healed and basically supporting the card. But I'm pretty sure they either didn't have this on mind, or they just tried to play like any pugs would play, randomly based on calls and instinctively.
But either way, we are into the second round now after Feila pretty convincingly taking that first round, and we're this is a real mental test now for the GABAGOOL side, because they're starting on offense this time, and it means they're going to be going back to this second, potential second hold for Feila very, very quickly. First at the moment, it's been contested a little bit. Snipe onto Joan is probably going to end that, but here we're once more in this Groundhog Day situation of GABAGOOL. Can they finally work out some way to break the second hold?
Well, they're probably trying to work on the mentality. If Joe is down, then the comms are dead on the other side. Let's see what are they going to do with the push. Delt ultimately goes down. Honjo and Yak also loses their life on top, and Wizard is the only one trying to peek from Saito, ultimately getting Joe. So once again, Joe is out of the game for 20 seconds. And no! Jude is peeking Saito while Venom is trying to sneak off onto the medic and onto the Evan, eventually getting June.
That was a drop as well.
Yes, like, you cannot just stand there, mate.
That's bad news. It's interesting to say that Harry is actually going all the way back to spawn during these sack waves. I think at the moment we're seeing a clear difference in terms of the information given by both sides. This time Ajay is finally able to get a sap. It's going to be coordinated nicely, rebuffed. Pyro air blast though. There's a scout in. He's trying. I don't know what he's targeting. This guy's just trying to get onto Brian there, Omega, but Harry is just hiding in that dispenser, completely untouched, and sack wave once more just does not work.
To be fair, it's a good start to get the NG and the sentry down. So right now you could ultimately go into Cycle or main immediately, since you don't have to deal with the sentry gun. But if oh my god, if Yak is getting airshotted and destroyed at the same time, it's what do you expect? Like, is Feila being cracked at the moment?
I have to say, it's crazy. They actually get the force out of Harry, and it was when Yak got double airshot before even being able to sack. So maybe that's what it comes down to. Just get completely owned and distract the enemy team, get them overconfident, and now finally there is an uber advantage for June for what I believe is the first time in 2 rounds.
Oh man, this could be potentially a good start for it. For GABAGOOL to push on to second, but we'll see. Like, Okay, Joe is dead finally. Airturnier also goes down. So Wizard is playing on top right now. Honjo is playing on side tunnel at the moment. Heals are not so favorable on the side, but Yak is in and gets XC red. So there's no engineer, potentially no engineer on third. Harry gets a pipe, but ultimately gets away. A push is guaranteed. I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. Please, you get guaranteed. Just a second.
Definitely wasn't the cleanest Uber advantage push that you ever see, but they did eventually get enough position on that, so finally got some position there, and it was enough at the end of the day. A couple of players down for Feila, they didn't really have any position, would have been a very, very risky contest, so they're just going to go back to third, have a bit of an advantage. Actually, Brian's going to get stabbed. It's going to allow Wizard to peek very, very freely now.
So this could potentially be an actual wide peak onto Feila. And since they have... Okay, Yak is going down once again. Airturnier, Brian is still dead. Oh my god, Honjo gets the mega shot onto BB. Like, that is insane. Players are playing insane in this game, okay? This is potentially a great play. 3 players down on the side on Feila. Right now we got the back spawns, but Edge is probably going to coordinate along with Yak. So potentially I want to see a proper push onto it. Right now the Uber is getting popped out on the side of GABAGOOL, and right now Joe is dead. No engineer, no sniper, and no spy on last. This could be an aggressive go on. Feila is getting wiped at the moment.
Yeah, well, nearly a wipe. The important thing is Harry did get himself back into spawn. He is going to retain a considerable Uber advantage, but already dealt. And Honjo here deep into last. Brian might get punished as well. Honjo is still waiting that spawn. They're wisely not moving through that middle spawn. Everyone is coming out the right-hand side for the defense. Cart is still quite a long way back, but they don't have much position here at the moment. Going to see Corey get taken out in that cafe area, but Honjo is still looking. There's going to be an Uber out onto Joe. He's getting launched in the air once more, trying to block the cart. Gets a ton of frags down onto that combo. Just everyone flooding in through the cart for GABAGOOL, but that's mission accomplished there for Feila. They got themselves outspawned, they used the Uber, they killed the medic. It's about as successful as you could like.
Yeah, this is the Joe we know. This is the Joe we know. But we all know that they could be playing better if they had Layla. Like, that's the thing. And Ryan... What? Judy's getting dropped to a blind trap by Joe. Nobody's checking it. Hello, Delt? Where are the detonators spam checks? Hello? I cannot believe June loses life again to a trap to random things on the map. That is just unfortunate. And now there's a reset happening and full Uber advantage down the bank on Feila.
It's not the end of the world. There is a jump now in towards Harry, and Harry is taken out. Honjo somehow lands underneath him and finds a final rocket to drop Harry.
Okay, so in this game, Ubers are flying. Like, Ubers are flying out the window. And it's not favorable for anyone, especially for the teams losing them. So a push might be happening, the respawn wave just got in, there's no sentry gun right now. Yak is trying to be coordinated along with Del, trying to deny onto the spam. They might need some pick classes that could potentially wide angle peek onto Feila's spawn. But right now, Edge is at their spawn, trying to make up a play, potentially on flank, getting Soldier down so they can actually push wide. Successfully gets Artillery down, there's no railing, no, they don't have to be afraid and look back. And right now, the spawn is coming out. The side of Feila, the spam is happening. Joe is not dead, but Feila is so low on HP, and GABAGOOL is trying to not contest way too aggressively, so they do not lose players, and definitely not June. But it's still full advantage on the side of Feila.
Yeah, unfortunately for GABAGOOL, they got a decent entrance with their Uber. They got dealt in very, very deep. They got a ton of damage down onto a bunch of players, but no one is really there to finish off like 3 or 4 players who are in single-digit health. Yak is jumping in once more, looking for Harry. They do get the foresight with the help of Honjo. Both of those players are cleaned up, but I don't think much is going to be achieved with this red Uber. Karik might get spotted on the flank. BB is going to take him out with a duel, but June is nice and safe back towards her and spawn.
So I don't know what's up with Feila again, but all I see is that they are on KritzKast, read Dave.
Yeah, it's an interesting,
does
interesting choice.
Does GABAGOOL know? I'm not so sure. Oh no, Raylan! No! Raylan actually fails the first step, tries to reach it, but eventually gets onto June without any notice coming from Delt nor Yak. So right now this might be an actual spam and a cleanup fest for Feila right now.
Oh, Yak's claimed as well. I mean, I do like this crit streak play if you are dealing with that uber advantage, which we were expecting. But now that Raylan comes in and gets the medic out of the equation, that's going to turn the scenario back round. So now it's a Kritzkrieg advantage for Harry, and unfortunately, a good heads-up play. But if anything, it's now working against them because they have to use his crits.
Oh, I'm wondering, is it going to be a potential crits? It is a crit. They noticed. But it's not going to be thanks to the crits. Yak is dead, Ori is dead at the same time. Honjo goes in, potential cleans up players, and right now, 5 players out of Feila. This might be a great push, but players are so not healed. God damn, Kira goes down. Honjo is getting piped down by Joe.
5 players went down for Feila, but Joe and BB just went through the flank and absolutely tore it open. There's still an Uber though here for GABAGOOL. They're looking to go in, but you're doing a decent job defending it. Harry's going to keep himself alive, but I think everyone else just about is down. The sentry gun's taken out as well. Harry's killed in the spawn. There's still Brian on his lonesome trying to hit some headshots, but sadly there's no players left alive. A full wipe. There we go. Eventually GABAGOOL are going to claim this 4th point in 9-16.
But at least they claim 4 points. that's what I have to mention. At least they claim
4 times better than the last round.
Potentially. This is a possible time for Feila, indefinitely, like based on the first round, but this is also losable. So I don't know what to expect, to be fair. Based on the first round, I do not want to have any predictions onto it, except I expect GABAGOOL to be a bit more organized and just not fearsome.
Yeah, so far in this game I've been very impressed with how organized Feila are, given the fact they haven't swum that much with this roster, given the fact they're playing with a sub-medic as well, and how many changes they had during that kind of preseason scenario. The fact they're so coordinated and so in tune and everyone knows their position is pretty impressive. This is really where I guess GABAGOOL have to step up and show they are the equal of this Feila team.
I mean, I hope so. They definitely have the players that are potentially good and equal in terms of gameplay and just basically game sense. Right now what we can see from the side of Feila is that they're trying to do the classic Feila push from flank at the moment, which is potentially working now at the time. They're being chased off and being... Now this might be re-push onto it, but yeah, Joe goes down to Wizard, so this is definitely going to be a reset. I expect GABAGOOL to have a bit more aggressive hold like the last time they had on first, so they can scrap off, some more time. And
BB's on the chase onto Corey, trying to wiggle away with the Mr. Steel is actually going to keep Corey alive. Enough time for 400 to come in, kill BB, and importantly get quite a lot of that battalion's backup up the second.
Let's see what EJ... Oh my god, EJ actually gets Ryan. So this might be an actual wide peak on cliff to it. But Joe is in. Raylan is also potentially in, trying to sneak off onto the players and gets Joe. Oh. Perfect timing from the spy. Perfect timing. But wait, what is Corey doing in the background? What? Like, I mean, not Corey, sorry. Like, Venom is doing in the background and just basically gets off the pyro. June is dead, no scout. This might potentially be either a Cytone push because they have no pyro to deny it. Right now, no June. Uber is getting popped out. Spawn is being chased, and this could be potentially a really fast second if they can manage to hold the aggression and keep the aggression forwards.
Yeah, backup is up for Honjo. It's only just fading.
Oh my god, Joe! With the massive pipes and the damage on June is down once again.
That's a big pick, and while all that was happening, while all the pressure was in from BB and Joe and everyone going deep, Harry's just had the time of his life. He's been able to heal his sniper on the car as they just leisurely roll it over that second cap. It's not being built optimally by any means, but he is still going to have a chunky 30 to 40% Uber advantage, and Feila looking to go down the flank here.
I see the reason behind it. Like right now, Edge is calling out, and they have Brian on the spot. Railing goes down. There's no snipers, so they actually lost the advantage. Like Feila going down by 3 at the moment. It's not going to be pushed onto flank, especially when the cart is being spammed and just kept by 1 player. BB is getting picked off by Edge lurking in the back. Uber is getting popped out, even though the advantage is in. June is so weak. Harry is flying at the moment, and right now still being saved. Wait, can Harry potentially get out? No pyro, no Edge. What is happening? Free cap collapse.
Oh, June, will she be able to get back to spawn? She will just about dodging pipe to pipe, but the soldier Honjo
is getting cooked by the spawn door.
That whole defense was just tragic for GABAGOOL. The focus fire was all over the place. A sentry gun was able to go up in front of a heavy and a demo man. Now the bomb is in. It's a very, very easy force. Everyone committing, but the stab comes in from Ajay as Harry had stayed in too long with his team. And big play from Ajay, and maybe gives GABAGOOL some kind of hope in this round.
Oh, at 6 minutes on last, it's hard to deal with, especially if you make mistakes like that. Just dropping off players. There's no heavy, no spy right now on the side of GABAGOOL, and this might potentially hurt them. Like, if they're not being fast on the coordination, it's not going to work out. Honja is still playing on the back, was trying to secure off Red Room, but Arthur is in. Along with the spy, does a decent amount of damage. Like, June got down to 16 HP. They have to get back onto the spawn. So right now, this could be a potential delay, but they have to deal with the card time. Definitely with the card time. It's equal on Ubers. Yak is getting in onto the aggression. And right now, they're trying to force them off from... We have some sideline advantage at the moment.
Yeah, you can see GABAGOOL wanting to go into this red room aggressive there, trying to get some stickies up maybe, trying to peek it just a little bit. Now they back up, they've baited Feila forward a little bit. But at the moment, even Ubers for both sides, so maybe an option for Feila to go for a trade. Looks like they're going to drop into main. Harry and Joe ready to go. They're going to peek the sentry gun, they're going to trade the Ubers out. Yorn and Joe taking most of it. Rayling's in position, but no one to stab that isn't shiny and red, so will get gunned down. But Yak is launched in the air, taken quite low, bombing from Amantre, is focusing down the heavy, who's also getting focused with the arrows. Will live for now under in that little shelf area that the spy usually decloaks, but eventually is found by Arantre, and the offense really for Feila dissipates.
Yeah, to be fair, that was actually a pretty nice hold on the side of GABAGOOL, because they actually managed to protect June well from the bombers, from the spammers. So it's also on the side. God Wizard had a nice shot on to be flick, but back to explaining what was happening. GABAGOOL got a perfect defense. They're not trying to let down not their pyro so they can deny, and also they actually managed to keep their engineer up, which is going to be extremely important, especially on last. Not losing players like that is always going to be a good one. And right now an outside push is happening from Feila at the moment. They're also dropping players, but what I see, Edge is picking up Brian potentially getting cleaned up, and the Cafe Uber is getting out from Feila at the moment. There's soldiers already in. Yak is dead. Edge is also still dead. The Uber is getting out from June, and then right now the cart is still not up. It might roll back. And it actually rolls back, so this is going to be a defense reset on the side of GABAGOOL.
Yeah, they didn't overchase with that Uber there, but crucially they took out the sentry gun, and Wizard was on a bit of a tear this round. He hit a massive headshot onto Joe just as Feila were looking to re-aggress, and once your Demo Man goes down, that's so much of your attacking potential out of the equation for, you know, a good kind of 20 to 30 seconds. There's some stickies that Yorn is thinking about dealing with, but he just distracts enough his own team that Ajay is able to steal in, take out Harry, and once more Feila back to the drawing board. What looked unlosable kind of time that they had is it's already halfway gone, and there's only just over 2 minutes left now.
And from 7 minutes down to 2:30, It's insane. GABAGOOL just decided to make and prioritize the right picks, and prioritize calls over more kind of an aggressive stance and doing things randomly. So I'm pretty sure they're probably organizing more with Edge at the time. But Arthur is getting like picked down. Brian peeks angle. Oh my god, and hits a nice shot. Tries to go on for the med, but the fuck was it already expected Brian to peek wide onto June and just said a no. At the same tries to recontest with some spam, trying to reset onto the cart along with Del denying onto the spam, but they have to get either the gun down or just make a big bomb onto the medic, and actually managed to drop.
That's massive from Antri, and Joe is able to take the Uber straight in, kills Yak, kills Karik, doesn't have sickies for this sentry just yet. Joe and Venom are both trying to peek. That's going to allow BB to run in. Delt is trying to WM1 into the enemy team. He's alive for now, just about, with the help of the battalion's backup. Arantri is jumping. Nice air shot onto Honjo, but he takes an arrow as well. I don't know if there's enough players though. Delt and Honjo are going to collapse onto the point. They're going to block it for now. Keep the defense alive. Spawns come in here for GABAGOOL with the cart very, very close.
Joe gets a reflected back, and the spawn wave just came in the right time. They didn't have enough time. Like, Omgur just came into the cart and defended it so well so it could not roll up at the last second, and the respawn wave just come in great times from GABAGOOL so they could respawn. Joe is going in way too aggressively again, gets picked down again. No BB, no Joe, no Red. There's potentially no one onto the cart. This is going to be an aggressive defense onto the card coming from GABAGOOL. It's only 30 seconds left. You gotta understand, you have to make this push happen. You either gather up players and push entirely, or you just give up.
19 seconds left, 95% up for Harry. They've got one last Uber to make this happen. They got Flood on the cart. What's happening? Raylan decloaks on the cart. They're going to take the Uber in. June has to stand on the cart. Doesn't have an Uber, but they are able to touch it. BB's able to run on. Sentry gun isn't enough. It was distracted by the Uber players. And Feila take the first map. Here we go. Anyway, second map. Feila took that first one. They're facing off against GABAGOOL. It's going to be Feila, just casually walking towards the point, neither side making too much of a splash of things at the moment, but now we can see GABAGOOL, as soon as the timer starts to tick down, as soon as the point opens up, plays Flood onto the point. It's going to allow Raylan to get one pick onto Wizard, but he's taken out by Yak in the meantime. They've already capped it up here, but Kanga is who's now in the server, replacing BB, is able to go forward, claim one kill on the point, and Rantre is in behind with a big bomb. There's already an Uber up for June. It's traded out on the point here, redlix, but it looks like it will shake out with Feila technically losing the mid-fight, but getting control.
I mean, it comes down to, do you have a better coordination, or whether you can pressure back and play around the heals. So Brian gets the sniper eventually, so right now it's currently Feila is being on top of it. At the moment, damage is being dealt. Brian is getting the most headshots that he possibly can do. He's SMG gaming, which is important for me at least. And GABAGOOL is managing to lose players, just like they've been losing on Vigil. Like, what is happening? Like,
yeah, he's just getting chasing down by Kanga and XE Red. They were just absolutely on top of him. But Feila have lost a lot of players here. Importantly, they've kept Harry alive. He's at basically the same kind of Uber situation as June. As Feila's starting to get some respawns, but GABAGOOL now have an opportunity to get some cap Simon.
Well, if I was June, I would be changing my diapers, just saying that, guys, we should pause. And Honjo is in with the big bomb. Holy smokes. Getting down, getting potentially Harry, Brian, and Jon is out of the game. Joe is getting picked down by AJ, and right now the cleanup crew is coming from the side of GABAGOOL.
Yeah, it's, I don't know how much was cleanup crew and how much was just Honjo with one big massive play, just huge stuff from him. And GABAGOOL, you can see, want to play aggressively on the point, hiding June behind this main house. Rantry is now in for a bomb. The first one's reflected, but too much damage is done onto June. She's going to get forced out. They're going to chase forward here. Yak does claim one kill onto Venom. A few other players actually go down for Feila, but a snipe from Brian takes out Jude, and it's going to be advantage to Harry.
How about the push it? GABAGOOL is still not out. It doesn't matter whether June died or not. Like, they're in. Edrin is getting reflected down bad. There's no Harry, and Brian just respawned. Still, June is in the respawn wave, but GABAGOOL is managing to get this aggressive hold. It doesn't matter whether they do have a medic or not. Brian potentially gets down with that. Joe is getting picked down again, so there might be less on the calls. Yak is still holding on the point, not giving a single damn of what's happening with players or cleanups.
That was huge from Yak staying in there with 4 players in his face, able to just hit those 2 pipes onto Harry. But everyone is standing on the point. Harry's very, very aggressive. Knows that June doesn't quite have Uber. Joe is running under the point. The dispenser at the moment is keeping nobody alive. June can't escape. There's stickies ready for her, and Joe is just going to demolish people on the point before getting headshot himself.
This is such a beautiful play. Oh, also, Wizard is cleaning up players. Whoever enters the point gets cleaned up by the sniper. I hate snipers so much, Dave. I don't know about you.
Oh, I love that class. It's I'm very thankful to have to play against top snipers in Highlander. It's very, very fun, as you can imagine, as a medic main.
Yak is getting dominated by Raylan. It just decloaks. Yak's not giving a single damn. Brian is getting eventually the headshot onto Wizard. Right now tries to support, and SMG down the mini sentry long range. Questionable, but okay, they managed to get the point in 20 seconds on the side of GABAGOOL. Huge time advantage.
They took a long time there to cap it up, and then they didn't even wait for Joe to spawn, so they ended up delaying him. It's not the end of the world, this situation. Harry does have a small advantage. It's basically going to be evened out pretty shortly by June, probably before GABAGOOL are going to be in a position to push here, but now they're looking to pressure across the point. Uber is up, June eats a pipe, is milking actually pretty decently given that fact. It's going to be a slightly better Uber here for GABAGOOL. They lose Corey, but traded out for XE Red. Joe is able to take Honjo out, but not before Yorn goes down himself, so now maybe opportunities for a GABAGOOL repush. They're flooding onto the point. There's a lot of cap time. Joe can't do it all alone. They're going to have to walk back on here with only 10 seconds left. Raylan is in, is able to take out Delt, but importantly, June will escape for now.
Right now, what we see is just, oh my god, Raylan gets June. Like, Raylan is playing the MVP class at the moment. Wait, what is Kanga doing? I have no idea. It doesn't matter. Right now, June is out of the game thanks to Raylan. So just the spam can potentially happen and keep continuing to deny onto the point. Feila is currently making the right plays. Edrin tries to go on for the sniper pick, but eventually gets picked down, and right now a lot of players are currently down on the side of Feila, and they lost the point. Right now, what GABAGOOL has to do is just stand on the point with the pyro, and it's a 1 round.
There we go, GABAGOOL striking back hard, and yeah, just, I mean, it definitely wasn't clean. There were definitely some ropey moments there, but I think the real thing that turned it around for them was just when they had that one big advantage situation, they went aggressive, they took out Harry deep in his own spawn, and that gave themselves a big time advantage based on that.
I mean, talking about the first round, like, Yak just holding with 4 players and manages to grab off a lot of time onto it. It's definitely going to pay them off. And Honjo is in with the bomb, gets down Harry. Like, stop this guy, he's being way too successful. Too dangerous to be left alive.
Yeah, Raylan is in, takes out Karik, dealt his body shot down as well. XE Red and Kanga are in onto June. She goes out to a sliver of health. Kanga can just about finish it off. And it's actually going to be Feila shaken out with a victory. And importantly, I think as well, June is going to have a much later spawn. Oh my god, Yak gets annihilated by Joe!
Oh my god, Yak doesn't have the game of his life. Like, that's for sure. On Vigil, on Brute, damn. As long as they win, it's fine, but Yak doesn't. I don't think he has a lot of fun, especially in these scenarios.
Yeah, and here we are, Feila with a bit of Uber advantage. Bomb once more in from Honjo. This time it's dealt with, but Corey is just walking himself onto the point. Everyone, it's full combo here for Feila hiding behind it, and the damage is in. Yak taking out Yorn, Venom as well. Harry got sniped throughout all of that. June is dancing in the air, surfs away with a sliver of health. will just about get their health back and survive for now in back and forth game.
Yak is definitely playing over aggressively, and it works out for them because they can actually manage to find frags off. Right now, what we can see is just Uber is getting popped out from the side of GABAGOOL. Already Honjo is behind at the moment, clean is happening, the point is getting occupied at the time, and right now they delayed their NG and their spy, and probably Omgar is just trying to contest on the point. Feila is managing not to lose some more players, but Yak doesn't give a single damn. He just goes in with the Pyro, with the NG. They're going to go back cap onto the point and trying to not lose June, but at the same time, Brian goes aggressive. June gets down. Like, why are you making mistakes? You're overcommitting, losing players, and potentially getting wiped for 10 more seconds.
Oh, Yak's in behind, but he's sandwiched by a Pyro, a Scout, and a Sniper. Isn't able to get the target he wanted, which was onto Harry. I mean, GABAGOOL have been having success just flooding over the point because Feila have been given that space. But this time it always felt like they allowed GABAGOOL to walk forward and then punish them by everyone just re-peaking at the same time. And this time it works out well for Feila and they have an advantage.
I mean, that's the issue with being over-aggressive and trying to switch up to the stats. If you're being over-aggressive and the enemy team can adapt faster, then you would think that you are definitely not going to get any Ubers, you're going to get cleaned up onto the point. What we see is currently Uber is getting popped out on the side of Feila, and right now they managed to get 3 players. There's no June, so they reset the Ubers. Harry managed to get down a lot of HP on himself, but manages to get out. So right now, Uberad once again on Feila, and the time is ticking for them, and not GABAGOOL.
Yeah, going up to a minute lead here, and Harry once more with an advantage, having to surf over one of the roofs to keep himself alive. GABAGOOL looking to pressure from the left-hand side of the point from their perspective, but everyone is just taking it so much damage. Yak is clean up, Brian wins the SVS as well. Corey can't do too much. Does get the cap out of it, but I don't think it's going to be a cap in here very long. Harry's close to Uber, but they've just got so many player advantage. Actually comes in with a stab onto Harry, and a nice reflect by Delt is enough to keep June alive for now.
That pipe roller could have just easily get June. Like, Delt just saved it. Like, it was a save, and Feila managed to just wipe off the Earth of the planet. Like, what is happening? Claiming back onto the point, but they're still sub 1 minute. Right now, 2 minutes is currently ticking on the side of GABAGOOL, and this might potentially be another brand new forward hold. And basically just an aggro hold onto the point with GABAGOOL. There's no Artinian Wizard is trying to play onto the point. Exores gets picked down. Brian gets Yak eventually. There's no Edge to clean up or call for them. Kirk plays onto the flank. Omgar is getting picked down by the spy. And right now, GABAGOOL is currently in a player disadvantage. We've already seen it, but they can manage to hold it in. No, Wizard goes down. June gets spotted by Raylin and actually goes down. Right now, Yak tries to go onto the point and just snipe onto it. Honjo is back and gets reflected.
It's 1-by-1 feeding at the moment for GABAGOOL. A terrible Uber onto Delt, onto Cliff, just not working out at all. And now, just Yak goes in, Honjo goes in 2 seconds afterwards. Easily dealt with at the moment. Feila able to just step on the point for just a second, cap it out, and now go back, and they still have that Uber in tow. Harry under not too much pressure at the moment. Honjo is going to get a spoon on the flank onto a run trip, but he's not going to escape. He's going to get punished off before he can, and now an aggressive Uber onto the flank, onto Joe. Going to see June be able to dodge away from it, but Yak, Corey, Honjo, Omgar are all down in the meantime. They're trying to fight, but they only have 2 players alive. Just Honjo and Ajay and Feila are able to stand on the point and equalise things up.
The cap is 1-1 on the rounder, so this could be still on my prediction, a 3-1 for GABAGOOL, but right now Feila looks kind of a bit more adapted on how to prioritize the objective and also their health. So next round started. This is our viewers, our 3rd round, and right now we can see a mid-fight, just a classy mid-fight along with the spam. Let's see who's going to get down first.
Yeah, I can see certainly GABAGOOL have been a little bit wary of that early aggression. They've been punished so far, but at the moment it's They're looking to go forward, but they're losing every single 1v1. Now Arantxa is in, lands on top of June, she'll escape, and now there's a health back. There isn't a health back actually for her. Rain is on the chase, maybe can gun her down, but no. The cake, as it is, for the TF birthday, will respawn, and looks like June will survive, but it is a Feila mid-fight.
They're down on 2 players. Rayleigh might be back onto it, and potentially this is going to be a forward push from the side of GABAGOOL at the moment. Uber is getting popped out, and we can see the exchange saving the pyro, saving the demo at the moment. Right now, this is going to be just an output play from Feila, playing it kind of safe because they actually have the better cap at the moment. But right now, June is getting sniped down by Brian. Brian gets 2 players, and at the moment there's going to be a refight on the side of Feila. And GABAGOOL still has the point. Are they going to refight? Points being capped all the way and a bit more chaotic as it tries to snipe onto Cliff at the moment, and eventually gets 300 onto the heavy. And right now, it's just going to be a pressure back from the side of Feila.
Yeah, they're happy to just claim the point, sit back, and at the moment they're doing a good job keeping Harry alive in these scenarios. They're looking to flood it back onto the point here, GABAGOOL, but there's an Uber out for Feila. Joe's going to go deep. He's probably going to claim Yak. Yak just jump out onto a health back. Joe really wants that Yak frag. He wants it more desperately than anything else. And overextends a little bit, stays in too long. Gets taken out. Arantxa is in the backlines here, but no demo is going to allow GABAGOOL to just flood onto the point.
Yeah, definitely. Feila doesn't have Joe anymore, doesn't have Raylin. And right now they just got the spawners. GABAGOOL still has the point right now. Tries to scrap off more time, but they actually got a bit more passive in terms of playing stance at the moment. So they realize that if they go way too aggressively, Feila already adapted, but AJ manages to get Harry out of the game. And also the Pyro might be out of the game. Oh my god, like... the Pyro is so weak on the side of Feila, but still, AJ played well. Got Harry, and right now Feila either has to go in for a drop and pop, or right now they're just going to overwhelm the point and at least get the cap.
Yeah, they're going to go in and cap. There'll be a few players here, but with them capping, it's going to extend their own spawn times. And as long as June is able to keep hold of this Uber, it's good news. Brian does get a nice shot onto Yak, and maybe give an opportunity for Feila to look for a repush. Actually, he's actually just going to walk into Brian multiple times. Does get spotted out, but will live for now. Joe is forward ahead of the rest of his team. They weren't ready for him walking forward, but thankfully neither were. GABAGOOL weren't able to quite make the most of it. Honjo is distracting massively in the backlines. KritzKast out for Yak. He hits a little bit of damage onto Venom, but not too much else.
I guess we could just call this a failed crits, I suppose, but they're still successfully holding on to the point. Right now, GABAGOOL is losing a lot of players. They might manage to get June out, but wait, June is surfing onto the rock and eventually... Wait, June is still surfing! And Wizard hit a nice shot, potentially saving F30. Also, Venom coming into trying to clean up, but no, like the sniper is shutting down anyone that is coming close to June.
Yeah, I have to say June was definitely had some iffy moments in that first map, but really the incredible mechanical ability is in full showcase on this King of the Hill Brute map.
And while we are talking, the on pause currently happened. June currently has 100% down the back onto the crits. They cannot afford to lose nor Yak nor June. Like, this is going to be I'm pretty sure it's going to be the decider whether they can actually spot a demo Soli and the medic. And right now we can see another aggressional like on the first round from GABAGOOL at the moment. Yak is going down at the moment, so crits is going to be wasted on it, but wow, the save is coming from June's arrows, and right now like they entirely fed onto not just the crits but just on the damage. That Feila just basically went into a full wipe for no reason.
I mean, a wipe in Highlander is a is a fairly uncommon, but wiping King of the Hill Highlander even more so. That was, I mean, I guess everyone can think everyone's dying at the same time for Feila, but they have backs against the wall. 18 seconds left here for GABAGOOL. Raylan is in, looking for something, but Brian is taken out behind all of it, and just Feila don't have any players alive to take this fight. They're looking to go forward, but they're getting minced.
Like, they're not even dropping to the crits. Like, okay, this is a 2-1, so I guess this was a failed call on our side, because I'm pretty sure that was Feila that was calling for a tactical pause.
Yeah, correct scenario, wrong team. It's Joe who called the pause directly after the round. You have to assume it was tactical. It wasn't super long, so probably some ideas in their head, but here they are out for another round, and potentially a round which could take the map in GABAGOOL's favour.
Right now is the same pressure happening onto the point. GABAGOOL has managed to lose some kills, but Brian goes down. Okay, there is currently a sniper trade on both sides, so the decider is going to be onto the flank and onto the pressure, like who's going to come into next to the spam, and the pressure is coming out. The crits is getting popped out. Joe and Harry is getting caught at the same time, while Honjo is already in, and Yak has managed to get at least 3 sticky crits and kills onto it. Feila is currently in a huge player disadvantage, but Brian manages to get the peak shot onto June. So at least there is a clean onto the Manic.
Yeah, I was just going to praise GABAGOOL for a really well executed crits. It's so important that when that sticky is coming in, that there's a distraction as well, and Honjo's timing on the bomb was absolute perfection, but June getting sniped does put a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth from the GABAGOOL side of things. Joe is looking to walk on the point, gets gunned down for it, and now Feila, despite capping it out, just going to have to give it back straight up.
I mean, like, if they potentially switch out from crits, they have to count on that. You have to count on the Ubers itself. So they have to either play a bit more either aggressively or passively. Like, they have to adapt. If the enemy team is getting off Medigun, it means that they potentially have the confidence to just basically hold onto you. There's currently a play happening on flank. Right now, Feila is basically spamming out the Uber at the moment. Joe is getting the pyro and also getting spam onto the sniper. Heavy's going down. Yon is being currently saved at the moment. So Uber is getting popped out on the side of GABAGOOL, but the point is still has not been capped, even though Feila has the player advantage at the moment. Brian goes down. Yak is trying to get protection onto the medic, but right now Ayrton is chasing hard onto it, trying to get onto Yak, and actually trades with Yak. This is actually huge at the moment. Even though Feila has the more players down, but they still have the point.
Brave stuff from GABAGOOL, taking over in with only about 4 players on the field, but just about making it work. And a big saw coming in from June as well is going to mean she actually has a slight Uber advantage over Harry now. Joe getting sniped once more, and you know, with them taking the cap back here, GABAGOOL, it's really up to Feila to see what they can do. They don't have a demo man for this Uber trade, just going to go over right hand side. Yorn's probably going to get gunned down himself. Ganga's, though, in position. Yak is quite low. Corey is quite low. June's healthy for now, but there's a lot of damage coming in. But it's mostly in GABAGOOL's favour with Feila crumbling.
I just wanted to say that, oh my god, Ayrton comes in the bomb. Like, Wizard managed to get a peek shot onto Harry, but at the same time, Ayrton just realized that, okay, boys, I gotta go in. There's no one to deny me, no pyro, no demo man, and no scout, so I gotta just make the play and get onto June before they actually manage to get Uber. And there's a current just basically reset onto the medics and Uber's side. Feila has the point right now, but GABAGOOL has a 1 minute advantage onto the point. That is going to be crucial because June is back on crits.
Yeah, but a lot of space is being given up as well. Just everyone on Feila wanting to hold behind the point. Honjo is in. Harry's going to have to hide in the dispenser. Brian can't hide. Yak's sickies are just going down. Harry's claimed by the body shot as well. Everyone just hiding, no one peeking. Lots of space being given up. And GABAGOOL are just able to waltz onto the point, get all the frags they need, and cap it out and walk back.
Oh man, Sub 1 minute on the side of GABAGOOL right now, and it doesn't look good. KritzKast is on 90%. They basically have full Uber at the moment. There's only the Pyro contesting on the point. Right now, Feila is trying to pressure onto it, being a bit more aggressive, so they could actually potentially deny the crits. But no, it's not going to happen. Yak is going to get popped onto the crits right now, successfully getting players. Venom is down, Artillery Kang is down, there's no cleanup crew happening on the side of the flank, and Yak is playing overly aggressive on main, trying to just snipe off pipes and a point, and right now control is being taken on the point by GABAGOOL at the moment.
Yeah, really nice from GABAGOOL. They've even solved an issue that was popping up in the earlier rounds, where now everyone is just flooding the point from different angles, and Cho can't do enough. Honjo is in, does get a lot of damage down onto Harry. I don't think it's going to be followed up. Harry is close to that Uber, but there's only 5 seconds left for Feila to make this push happen.
Oh man, this is actually a pretty intense game for what it is. Like it's just insane how these games go. Like players are filing off the map. As I talk, like Wizard is getting the snipe onto Joe. There's no Joe currently playing off the sniper pick. Yak is getting popped out onto the crits itself. Uber is getting saved. Right now, players are being just dropped down into the Uber. Honjo is in, getting potentially down Harry, and there's almost a full wipe. A huge player disadvantage on the side of Feila. And right now, this actually might be over. This is over. This is so over. 3-1. My prediction wins. Can I get the lottery right now, Dave? Just fill me up some tickets. Just give me the numbers.
Third and final map here for this best of 3. It is GABAGOOL starting off on the defense. Feila going to be starting off attacking in the blue. The winner of this map is going into the Premiership division. Straight away, the loser has to play it out once more in a last chance game. Feila will probably also be thinking, this is their map. We've been strong on payload. We dominated Vigil. There's no reason we can't dominate this map.
I agree with the statement and the way of thinking here. I just want to see the game is starting currently. The time is running onto point, and right now peeking is going to angle. Some calls are going to be made by the spy or whether players are going to be playing, and Wizard gets the first shot onto the Prime, might open up some angles. The soldier and the demo is in at the moment trying to get on players, but right now the only thing they might actually manage to get is the heavy itself, but the feat was not successful at the time for forcing onto the Uber.
Yeah, Wizard's actually going to go onto the playground area. It's not heavy with him yet, so he might have to duck off in just a second, but looking to take this opportunity to just hit shot after shot after shot. Another shot rings out onto Venom. Not going to claim the kill, but Corey is already back up and ready to go before Feila can do anything.
So at the moment, just the card is being pushed in. The Uber is getting out on the side of Feila at the moment. Cleanup is trying to have over at least a pressure onto the Uber, so the exchange is happening. Delth is losing and rolling his head at the moment. Right now, the spam could be in from the side, and actually Wizard is still on the strike, trying to hold on to the point, and there's still the gun. Kirek is still up, so this could be a way that GABAGOOL is still holding onto it and not giving up first.
GABAGOOL holding strong, staying in despite losing their pyro. They just took a fight. They mulched the Feila players on the car, and Harry got sniped by Wizard, who was continuing to peek after peek after peek. This time though, Brian is able to take out Wizard. It's a lot of space to open for both Brian and Joe. It's actually Yawn who's going to go forward. Takes a ton of damage for his troubles, but gets a lot of space himself. June does have an Uber advantage, but I don't know if they're going to be able to build it.
Oh my god, like Ajay was so successful getting Joe and Brian down at the same time and getting Harry on such a low HP. Wizard also respawned at the same time, so this is going to be another reset onto the defense with GABAGOOL. The time is still running and running and running, and 2 minutes is already being out on it. But is GABAGOOL trying to secure an aggressive second hold? I'm not so sure what do I see. It's basically a reverse Feila play, but wait, what is Feila popping Uber onto?
just they're just scared of that sniper sight, and they're just going to pop in to get about 50 damage down onto that heavy of Corey. But that's about all they get, and yeah, okay, they get the first point off the back of it. But it's not what you would want with an Uber. Our entry is in to make something happen. Gets dashed down to June. A long-range pipe is able to snipe Delta and June. The spam pipes from Joe.
Holy smokes, this is basically the cost of you are trying to hold aggressively on upward second. Kanga and Exired is great on the core time at the moment. There's no gun to contest the point whatsoever. GABAGOOL just has to just come back and play in-house. Right now, this could be an actual second push, and they cannot really fix it. A full Uber ad down the bank for Feila eSports.
Yeah,
and right now, players are spreading out.
Yeah, taking the sniper to track, as you would expect in this scenario, but Raylin has it called. SMG Gaming is out for Wizard. He knows that Raylin is then ready to go, but yeah, second cap is going to come in. Harry's actually going to ring a headshot off into Wizard, taking very, very low, trying to snipe him with the SMG at the end of the day. He will live for now, but it's going to be a while before he gets a full buff back.
Oh my god, but Joe gets the nice thing. Oh, and the pipe onto the scout. Like, Joe is something else. Joe actually took some, I don't know, Adderall. Oh my god, and Omgar getting absolutely molded and sniped with a rocket. Right now, Feila is just being popped up with those precision hits. Holy smokes. And the push is actually happening. They have a good card time. They also have picks. Joe is spamming out banana. Right now, they potentially have the ground to actually work around. Card is currently being protected. Passive hold is coming in, and right now they actually, GABAGOOL actually has to pop out the Uber to save on the card and save some time on it. Delta is trying to chase off the frags, but losing onto the fight, and there's right now 5 players down on the side of defense. Like, the respawns are coming in, but this is a definite third push.
Oh, they can't even come in because Yorn's able to get himself in through that banana area, but now Corey is occupied. It is gonna force Harry out. He's got no one to flash with his Uber at the moment. Harry, all his players run away from him, and the Uber gets nothing done. The car is being moved currently by a Rentry, the soldier, not the normal class you'd expect to be moving it. Raylin might be able to tap it once more, but that was a bit of a throw there from Feila. They had a good position, but just couldn't get that Uber to have any use at all.
This is an actual throw. Like, they potentially have the best kind of scenario, having a main ground control. GABAGOOL is playing passively, popping out the Ubers, so they could probably just recommit with an equal Uber. At the same time, Harry had no one around, and they actually just had the card rolling back. And right now, the hold is being reset for both Feila and GABAGOOL. So this is going to be an equal fight at the moment. No Raylin, no one to call the back, no one to go on the gun, and right now Kanga and Venom is potentially on the gun and trying to snipe on Shithouse at the moment. So Uber is getting popped out, players are being spread out, and Venom is just spamming on Shithouse as any heavy would do actually, and still not getting focused down. Like, the heavy's doing 1,000,000 damage, but nobody gives a damn. Manages to snipe onto Corey with the Thomas slap, and nobody gives a damn about the heavy. What is happening?
Eventually, Wizard is able to snipe him down, but not before 4 players go down. Kanga's able to just run on the car. There's still a wrangled gun. It is pulled back here nicely by Kirik. But at the end of the day, Feila claimed that third point. Not a great time thus far, 609 through 3, but they're going to be looking to make use of this yak pick that they have to busting through Tiles area.
And Omgar is surprising Brian on Tiles, and right now the heavy too, and oh my god, Omgar is kind of playing perfectly at the time, but getting big down. Also, back into that Venom pick onto the Shithouse, it was such a massive throw on the side of GABAGOOL. Like, I just cannot imagine. You cannot allow the heavy just snipe 3 players there. So right now, tower reset is happening. Feila is claiming on top. The sentry is going down. Kirik is not being able to build onto the gun. Scouts up top. Kanga is getting finished off. There's no XC Red, no Venom on top. And right now, Honja is claiming top again. We're trying to get onto Yak at, Joe at the moment. And
does take out Joe, yeah, with the help of Wizard hitting the headshot. And actually, June is going to drop down to main. They have some of their combo here looking to cross. They're thinking about it. Raylin at the moment is the only real player in tiles. And they do successfully cross. Raylin goes in, but they're sticky, so Yak waited for him. Banu is out here, Contra for Honjo. But Feila aren't even really making a push of it, so a little bit of a wasted banner there. Get a couple of francs for their troubles, and the moment Feila are back to the drawing board.
Right now what we see is basically a classic hold onto top. The scout is lurking in the back, might be an actual sandwich play. Pyro solo, Sniper solo. Ormgirl was so successful getting Joe, the Pyro, Brian, no Yon, no Brian. Honjo is still having a control onto the top, and right now this is a classic defense on top tiles. Like, GABAGOOL couldn't have been playing this more perfectly than this.
Yeah, and Feila not really getting the sack wave going. They're thinking about doing that kind of classic 7-man sack where everyone just walks up, but they lost 2 players before it even happened. That takes it down to 5, and at the moment they're struggling to even peek in towards the spiral area. Yak gets another frag onto Joe. That's 2 in a row, just immediately taking him out. Venom's in a position to maybe go for something, but he's cleaned up as well. Dealt up to a 4K. There is a bomb though into Arantria. Space was made for that soldier. Eventually goes in, gets the force onto June. That's the Uber out of the equation that they would have wanted here. Feila, and now Feila are going to have to see if they can make use of this Uber advantage they have.
Holy goddamn! And wait, Raylin eventually gets down Corey while he's trying to hide onto the mini rail. And also, what we can see is just the Uber is getting popped out, the deny is coming in. Wizard actually finds Harry and is on a 10 kill streak. Right now, Feila is kind of folding with the pushes onto the tiles. They aggressively try to claim tiles, even though GABAGOOL proved to be strong on the top hold, even with just 3 players in the bank.
Yeah, and they just stayed in. They kited forwards into tiles. They're lacking players now at the moment. It's just Yak and June, and Joe is going to run in, takes out Yak. June is ready to die as well. She's down to 10 health. Finally, XU Red comes in with those revenge crits, kills her. The other players, Corey going down as well. There's a bomb from Yord in towards the spawn area. Just 1 player up. It is Honjo. He's going to try and deny the cart, but Feila eventually flooding it. Cap it out, 9:49, not a good time, but at least it's not double figures.
At least it's not double figures. XREG just decided to go on and say, guys, frick it, I'm going cloak in time. It is what it is. Getting down Harry, and to be fair, I'm kind of surprised that Feila didn't really acknowledge that boys, we kind of pressure onto top. Like, we either have to go on top altogether, or if we're getting picked down, we could just potentially go through main and just have a spam altogether. But they failed to do it 3 times, and they were just basically wasting time for no reason. Just as, for example, GABAGOOL was doing on Vigil when they tried to push second. Seeing kind of the same mistakes of approaching, the same sidelines and just failing each time, not recognizing that we have to do something different. And that caused them a lot of time. It's almost double figures, Dave.
Big shout out to Aspect Vivo with the raid as well. I know he was covering the other Highlander game, so make sure you're checking out the VOD there after this game if you want to see what happened in that other game.
But still sub to KritzKast. Thank you so much! It is what it is.
Yeah, 9:48 here for GABAGOOL to beat. They are going to see Honjo coming in with the airstrike with a nice little bomb. Yak is in as well. Honjo's actually going to go fully in behind. Going to get that little health pack on second. Kango is on the hunt. Yak's already cleaned up. Kango is going to win that 1v1 very easily against that airstrike when you don't have those kills. You don't have enough rockets available to you to make much of it, really.
So what would you advise? To just get more kills with the airstrike on upward burst?
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Kill was easy.
And just do it. Everyone would do it if everyone could do it. But these players have something else in mind. Right now, what we see is that a double sack is coming in. At the same time, Delt Yak comes down. Joe is dying, but at least they got the Joe pick and also the force out from Feila. So this might be actually huge. Because if GABAGOOL gets the respawn wave right, even though Joe is up, they could potentially have a great push onto it. They have to spot the sniper and also at the same time spot the medic. They have enough core time and try not to lose players. Definitely when they're just trying to come in and get deniers, but Ryan gets a huge headshot onto Omger, onto Honjo, and right now Uber is getting popped out, the spam is coming out, Delt is in the air trying to go onto it, but it's not going to be successful, and Feila just doesn't fear. They do not care.
They don't, they're going forward with the banner as well. June is launched. Great surf from June! That's insane! Holy hell! That was so good to keep herself alive. She had to strafe onto that roof. She would have died to full damage easily otherwise, and is able to just drop down and resub and keep herself alive. Harry still has an uber advantage. They're looking to go forward. Now June might be in trouble, but it looks like they'll survive for now.
Man, just build different, Dave. Just definitely build different. And right now, a potential push might come in. So right now, it might be equals in a few, but Feila is still holding strong on the first, just as GABAGOOL tried to do. They want to keep the first point as aggressively as they possibly can, so they don't have to give up. Right now, the Uber exchange is coming out. It's a much better Uber for Feila at the moment. Cleanup crew might happen from Kanga and Joe with the spam, but at the same time, right now, Jan is dying. There's no Harry, no Brian. They're actually being just spammed out, and now I'm pretty sure this is going to be just a run to second, get a proper hold onto it, because the point is being given up to play on GABAGOOL's side.
Yeah, that GABAGOOL flank that you shouted out earlier that would be a big impact on Karth. I mean, it was on Proof to some extent, but here it was very, very powerful. Just coming in that post-Uber scenario, cleaning up Harry, taking out those defenses for Feila. Feila hold it up on second here, but once more Harry is at a bit of disadvantage. They're looking to get in position. There's Uber nearly up for June. Honjo in with a big bomb. It's going to take out Yawn. Venom goes down as well. They're bleeding players before the Uber is even up here for June, so it's going to be a stick or twist moment. Delch is taking the Uber aggressively, trying to get down onto XE Red, but unfortunately XE Red, Harry survived for now. Those are the two classes you probably want out of there, out to third. They're waiting for that cap to come in to go maybe for a back spawn here, but there's already players on third for GABAGOOL.
That was a perfect aggressive play from the side of GABAGOOL. Like, they just recognized the opportunity that they actually have momentum forwards, and right now they actually cleared up Kanga dies to this back. It doesn't matter, sticky traps. Right now, Feila eSports is being pressured down passively onto the third point. Right now, there's players on the court and 100% down the bank on the side of Feila, but they still try to wait onto players, especially their engineer, to get onto a proper... Oh my god, but Honjo actually gets in with the crazy jump, with a crazy second. Recognizing the opportunity and going on for the timing in risky times might actually pay off. And this one paid off for Honjo, indefinitely for that drop.
All going right at the moment for GABAGOOL. Wizard even winning their SVS as well. Yorna, he salvaged things just a moment ago. They're trying to get themselves up in position. There's a sentry going up forward. It's XE Red's just going to run down. Wizard isn't defended. Oh my god, crazy stuff happening. At the moment though, Tiles still controlled just about by Feila. But it's a bit scrappy. Yak is trying to go into spawn. They're getting way ahead of themselves at the moment here. GABAGOOL just have to slow things down. They have a lot of time to work with. Honjo going in for a play, but ends up just running into a Pyro, and it looks like Feila might be able to stabilize.
Oh, there was such great momentum recognition from the side of GABAGOOL that they have players, they have the ground, that they can potentially get onto the spawn cam, delaying players or getting the damage, making Feila actually afraid to take space. And that's basically what happened. All at the same time, while they got a great cap time. 4 minutes or less is extremely powerful. Delph is currently playing in the spawn right now, probably trying to just fix onto the Uber. Actually manages to get down XE Red. not finding Harry because Harry managed to hit the Benny Bind, but it doesn't really matter. Right now, GABAGOOL is dropping players, but at the same time, Brian is going down. Harry actually got 100% because managed to save himself with the Benny Bind, but Ryan, is it going to be enough? A lot of players are down on Feila's eSports at the moment, and towels are being taken by the Pyro and dead. And wait, what?
Harry jumps onto the car with the and now he's getting air blasted, though he does die. He's actually hit killed with a body shot, would have fallen in the pit. Otherwise, Orange jumps in. It's a desperate last attempt. Raylan and Brian, the only players alive. Raylan is cleaned up. Brian doesn't even need to get taken out. GABAGOOL just flood onto the point, cap it out with a good 3 minutes to spare there. A bunch of rounds in a row now. It is difficult time for them. Have to see if they have the mental fortitude, if they have the strategic ability, if they have just the sheer mechanical quality themselves here. But here they are starting off on the defense.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty sure it's almost as not just the cohesion but personal performance matters the most. That's why I said that since players are playing it so well, this might be actually just coming down to personal performance. And right now the sack has been kind of the same way, Yak and Honjo coming in, but the protection was perfect on Harry just standing in the regular dispenser spot, so they might actually have to reset. Heavy's on the cart on the side of GABAGOOL, just getting some cart time. At the same time, Wizard is trying to get onto peaks, getting information on what is happening, where are the sidelines being opened. Sep is coming out from AJ, but only the telly is going to be down. At the same time, while Delta is trying to just pressure onto it, Jan is actually getting down. Dealt. There's no Yak, no Honjo, so this might be an actual pressure sack once again.
Yeah, they've moved the cart decently, but really not getting too much purchase with the defense. There's a Pyro they have to deal with, there's a Heavy on the playground. Joe's committing most of his stickies just to placing them around Harry to death when the sacks come in. Just spamming pipes here and there. He caught a big one onto Omga earlier. Sack once more is in towards Harry. Delt's going to run in as well, but once more everything is dealt with. They are going to lose Venom though. Omga running in with 8 health. Takes out that Heavy. Doesn't get out through his troubles though. So 1 frag with teleporter still up. Not what you really want from a third failed sack with.
Yeah, indefinitely. Feeding the same 3-4 players not going to be beneficial. Brian gets Wizard, and there's no Corey right now. Sidelines are being currently opened up. So Honjo is taking upper along the side with Omger. Might go in with a bomb, tries to just sack onto it and sing the rockets onto the combo, but not being so successful. Harry's currently being down to 20% and on his HP. Wizard tries to snipe onto Artanier, and right now I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 3rd or 4th reset onto defense because GABAGOOL doesn't seem like leaving.
Yeah, they're struggling to get too much going here, GABAGOOL. They're going to get 1 frag onto Kanga. I mean, Scout is probably the most expendable player on this point for the defense, but it's going to allow the flank to try and go aggressive here from GABAGOOL. Venom, Yawn, Kanga, Brian, all down. That's a lot of frags. Harry's looking to escape. He's very, very low. There's pistol out. Coming to try and take him out, but he will just fall out of there. But no, Ajay is lurking in behind. Butter knife is more than enough. Claims Harry, and now June has a chunky Uber advantage.
From this now, they could actually just retake the momentum that they already have in the last round. This could potentially just be a go-in, hold on to balcony, play a bit more cool, but at the same time, if you have balcony, it's a very strong, an extremely strong stronghold. So right now, there's no, basically, what Feila has to do is just try to get the pressure out and also like the Uber out coming from GABAGOOL and try to not feed your medic into it. There's no Delt, no Yak and no Corey because they just been caught out in the aggression. I don't know why they have been dropped, but at the time, Feila doesn't look really well. Like they only have 3 players up onto it. The second is already being, pressured in, and the only chance is getting into it. Oh my god, but Kanga dies, Jan is just respawned. There's no one to really deny the momentum right now that GABAGOOL carries once again from 1st to 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Feila, they committed a lot of players. They got the foresight, they got Harry safe. Now they can get a kind of 3rd hub going, but whole kind of downtime, getting that Uber out isn't going to be the end of the world for GABAGOOL, because they still have a lot of time to push. It's a decent hold at the moment for Feila. They're looking to hold aggressive. They're playing Harry on that stairs area to get Brian lots of space, allow that heavy to be buffed as well. Arantra is nice and far forward on the catwalk, patrolling that, and the moment GABAGOOL, they can't even get towards the cart to touch it yet.
Yeah, but AJ gets crucial picks. He immediately got down Venom and Brian in the same side of Banana. Right now the Uber is getting out, but June almost falls off to the spam. But right now GABAGOOL seems to have some Banana control and also getting a good amount of card time onto it. Honjo is lurking around shithouse. Just tries to go in, being forced out from the cliff.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. He was body blocked by Joe, and then the sentry just launched him off.
But at the same time, June is getting sniped off the map. Like, this is actually huge. Right now, GABAGOOL lost all the advantage they had. It's 60% down the bank for Harry, but this might be a big Honjo game, I guess. Just being in, or trying to play the safe game once again. I'm not so sure, but right now 80% and most likely full Uber red on the side of Feila eSports.
And Yak taken out of sync with the rest of his team as well. They're going to have to wait on his respawn before they can do much there. I mean, Raylan's in position looking to go for something. Delt is just puffing flames here, there and everywhere to deny him, but at the moment they're really struggling to even touch the cart here. Karik tries to get on it, immediately takes a ton of damage for his troubles, just raining down damage, and a long-range pipe is able to claim him. They're building up the Uber just about here. June on the tracks area. Is an Uber ready to go for Harry when they went in with Joe going very, very low? They must be thinking about it.
Oh, by Ayrton here. Being lodged up. Honjo is trying to contest onto Banana, but Venom actually gets the better of him. And no Honjo to play around. Right now the Uber is getting popped out from both teams right now. Yak is being lunged off, and Jan is back into the game, and the defense is currently being extremely successful with Feila. Kang is denying onto the card. The card is rolling back, so right now there is no way to just regularly pressure onto the card. And right now an immediate pressure is coming onto main with spam classes, with everything being spammed into main right now, making sure that GABAGOOL has no sidelines to pressure in from.
Yeah, GABAGOOL really struggling at the moment, not really getting too much presence on the catwalk. I think that is the important thing that they're struggling with. It's allowing Feila, whenever they have all 9 players up, to just peek forward, peek aggressively. At the moment they're trying to get Corey into this shithouse area that provided so much value for Venom, but while it's happening, Raylin and Arantra are in. Tune is taken out. The rest of the GABAGOOL players, a lot of them fall as well, and Feila. Oh, they gets one pick onto Yawn, but he wanted the medic there, really.
Can't believe how a spy can actually just manage to butter knife a Pyro with a spicycle. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. And while I'm talking, Yak is in, since there's no Pyro, no way to deny this, except if you meet a scout, a hit scan class, and cleanup might be happening, but Kanga goes down, Honjo is lurking in the back on top of tiles, and right now actually gets down Harry, tries to go on for as much damage as he possibly could actually retain, but is it going to be enough? The momentum is back with GABAGOOL once again.
Yeah, huge turnaround. That struggled up to that point, but just a bad Uber really from Feila, just messy and unfocused. Don't block the cart, just take a heavy way too deep in through the main area, and had no real exit policy as well, with Honjo lurking does take out Harry, and that means tiles hold is going to be completely question at the moment. At the moment, Arantra is the only one up there with that banner. Is going to run back to the rest of his team. They're going to have to do a passive hold from their own spawn. But while that's happening, they're doing a great job moving the cart here, GABAGOOL.
They're actually, what I noticed is that GABAGOOL is now being extremely successful onto pressuring onto the cart and getting as much cap time as optimally possible at the moment. Right now, Feila is grumbling onto the point, and this might be actually just fixing onto the cap at the moment. Jan tries to go and try his best of defending the cart and pressure out as much cart time possible. But right now, the clock is ticked down, and I do not see yet, but is it double digit?
No, it's 8:54, which is a good defense from Feila, for sure. But with how well they hold onto that third for so long, could easily have been double digits. So, either missed opportunity for Feila or a good salvage from GABAGOOL. But either way, they'll probably advantage Feila overall this time.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I'm pretty sure GABAGOOL wants to try and basically have the same strat of trying to hold first, with the exception of not feeding onto an aggressive top second hold, which they actually managed to do so. But what I've seen from these rounds is that for both teams, the first hold is being extremely prominent. So they are being in. They're definitely not giving the first cap in, even though they have a massive player disadvantage. They tend to play correctly. I wouldn't say aggressively or way too passively. I would say they play correctly around their games. So right now, the next round, the opposing round actually started, and we are back into the game, seeing what's happening onto the map and going on for the first picks.
Yeah, it's going to be Wiz out with the first pick onto Brian, counter sniping him down. This big moment from Android going around the back lines. Joe! Oh my god, Joe claims Wizard. Rantry somehow survives through all of that and is able to drop June despite Sentry Gun shooting him down. And there we go, big drop. And now Harry once more, they're going to come out with 100% in hand to go forward aggressively. We'll have to see if GABAGOOL are going to do the same thing they did in the last beta at the Zuba, but here we go with Feila Zuba.
Right now, Uber is getting popped out from the side of Feila, and Joe is on the chase once again. Tries to get onto it, but getting reflected and being chased off. So right now, being unsuccessful on getting players down. But Artillery is back in. June is getting chased all the way at the moment. Even if they might actually have to give up first, but second might be an excellent hold. They managed to get June out, and the respawners actually just might come in at the moment.
Yeah, respawners are up just about for both teams, but I think the GABAGOOL ones will get there just about in time. They have their 9 players up. Honjo, Delt, Karik all rolling out now. Stab onto Wizard's going to open things up, going to open the sidelines, it's going to allow Brian a lot of freedom. You can see already just everyone passive playing behind their tunnel.
Edge manages to, as you talk, sorry for interrupting, but as you talk, Edge just seen an opportunity going onto Harry and was like, okay guys, I'm in, just make a distraction, and there's no Harry, there's literally 0 in the bank at the moment for Feila, so all the advantage that they might actually could have gained on top is basically just disappeared in an S-tab, in a snap of a finger.
Yeah, everyone's kind of playing quite passive at the moment on GABAGOOL, but they're not even blocking the cart. Then now Honjo is going to drop down with Yak, and they're going to shoot it together. Do a good job claiming that frag onto Kanga, but it's allowed some space over the top. You can see how aggressive Feila are despite the Uber advantage, and that's going to bait Yak into an aggressive Uber. Harry is thinking about jumping down off the cliff. Wasn't sure where his life goals were at that moment, but will pull himself together. Don't do it, Harry.
Just don't do it. It's still worth living, Harry. It is just what it is. We gotta keep coping and make sure that you win the game and actually get into Prem. So what we can see is currently a reset. Harry has 100%. Right now on the Ubers, this might be an actual side tunnel push, but GABAGOOL manages to actually expect it. Might be a good one to just come out and wait for the Uber fade. Okay, wait, what is Corey doing in the window? Getting probably picked off. Brian is already taking on top, waiting for players outside. But at the same time, Artillery is back in. Yak is 5 HP. It was a perfect bomb, but sadly was not enough to get at least Yak down.
Yeah, but it made a lot of space for the rest of his team. They were able to take second. I think they wanted to resist their GABAGOOL, but after that bomb, it was basically over for that point already. Venom getting the pressure in, looking to go into that sneaky spot under that little platform area. Is jumping himself up to the catwalk. Everyone's just stacking on cart at the moment. I can see actually looking to go in for a pick. Andrew's going to win that soldier 1v1 again once more. The cart's making very, very good time for Feila with I think it's lock and load out for Joe, just firing these very, very awkward fast pipes down from the low ground.
Right now, what actually GABAGOOL has to do is just basically just focus on the objective and make sure the gun is being spammed at all times. But right now, Arthur is in, June is getting forced out, and the Uber is basically better for for GABAGOOL. Right now, Brian is being just air blasted off the point, and the recommitment is coming from both artillery. Right now, no Kirek, no engine, no Yak, no Delt, and third is being currently claimed by Feila at the time. AJ tries to go onto Harry, but fails to actually either stab or shoot him down.
Yeah, very poor defense from GABAGOOL, just not understanding the third point of upward very well at all. Just allowed Feila to just cap and cap and cap and cap. Eventually, Yak put some stickies down to kill the engineer, but as soon as the Uber came in, Feila could just commence with the capping once more while the trade was happening. Textbook stuff from Feila. Actually, Red's going to run in, claim Delt in the tiles, and now there's not too many players alive. Joe goes in, hurls forward. There's a spoon potentially out for our entry. I don't think he even needs it. And only 3 players alive here. There's the heavy. He's maybe the last chance, the last opportunity. He's going in with the Tomislav now. He's shooting down Exy Red. He's able to just hide behind the car. Railing and Exy Red. No, they're not quite able to get it over the top. Marantria runs in. Kanga runs in. He goes very, very close. There's Honjo jumping in as well. And Feila beef this.
Oh my god, like, the cart almost tipped over, like, it was literally on the edge of tipping over, but somehow Feila managed to actually fail this. Like, what you said that GABAGOOL failed the third, like, they came back just making an excellent play on last. Just making sure that the objective is being constantly spammed, and focus your powerhouses onto the cart, make sure it is not being kept. That's what you have to do. And right now, there's currently heavies on basically the main spot at the moment. Right now, being an extreme presence onto the point, and they're extremely being focused onto the objective itself. Tiles is being claimed by Feila at the moment, and right now what we are seeing is a tug-of-war of getting the sentry gun, managing to get some picks. There's no Yak, no one to deny or actually spam onto the window. So right now what we see is just, as I said, a tug-of-war is what is currently happening. But the cart is so close.
Yeah, Uber's out for Joe. They're going to start out. Jordan's going to jump in. Eventually the Uber comes out for Red, but they're not getting too much on it. I think Yak just wants to hold on to the high ground, wants to continue to spam down on the cart. That heavy in that awkward little spot is taken out as well, just by them just running out. Kanga's going to jump onto the cart, dodge off it a little bit. Delta's in, gets some damage down onto Kanga. Exy Red is jumping on the cart. It's a heavy. There's just so much HP suddenly on the cart for Feila, and it's going to be enough.
Oh, this is what I like to see. A perfect execution of how to play onto the objective. Like, if it's nearly tipping over, you either want to butter spread the players out and make sure they're being denied on the sideline, or just get as much HP as possible onto the cart, so it is impossible to just spam all out altogether. Because Yak was down, there was no soldier, only the pyro was on it, but it was ultimately denied by the heavy. So right now, this is basically how you play on last. It was a great competitive play from both teams, but especially on Feila coming back onto it.
Yeah, it's looks like they just immediately readied up as well. They're ready to go with this next round. I mean, you got to feel with how that round went. GABAGOOL will obviously be kind of upset overall that they weren't able to clinch it out, but kind of brought it closer than it had any real right to be. I don't think Feila were ever too worried. It never really got super tight, but yeah, things to I'm not sure I agree with it, particularly with how bad that third hold was from GABAGOOL. I thought they'd want to talk over things just a little bit, but looks like they're ready to go anyway.
It's genuinely interesting how these two teams manage to control their momentum and how they kind of play a tug of war. As I said, when it comes to aggression and commitment onto the actual objective. Right now, it's what I see on first, Wizard getting down Brian, so there's no sniper to wildly just put danger about. Joe is playing on the top spot, trying to get the sentry down, and basically does the altogether Joe thing, just go behind and try to play onto the spam or get the teleporter as a demo, but getting chased down. Managed to find the actual pipe of the players, but I'm pretty sure Joe is just fooling around.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about another sack wave. Joe is taken out by the sentry gun. June, nice and safe, 100% Uber. Sat in that dispenser. It's interesting to see both of these teams just so committed for the medic more than anything. You know, there's a lot of different picks that can open things up on this first point, but you don't have to drop the medic.
It's currently just basically playing around the aggression and how you can manage to get like HP down on either of the teams is definitely the objective for the opposing or the actual team that tries to push onto it. So on defense, you try to preserve as much HP as possible, so you do not have to, you know, being forced out into playing passively. And right now, this is basically what Feila tries to do. Like, just go in with a bit of aggression, make them like force into getting into passive positions so they can blob up and just make damage altogether. And right now what we can see is just a defense reset from GABAGOOL. There's no pyro to deny onto the spam, so Yak can pretty much just play freely. All they need is just a sniper call and whether the bombs are happening or not. Feila is currently losing players, so giving always like the upper hand to GABAGOOL on the defense. There's no
kills already for Wizard. He's on the bizarre bargain as well. Redlix, you're the sniper main. Oh, it's not going to prove very important as Raylan comes in, takes out the sniper that was such a bane of this offense. There's a few plays down. Yak and Wizard being the big ones. Those are the two big classes that can deny this high ground area. You can see Harry is able to just walk in. Going to take the Uber trade in. Harry is going to counter onto the car. It's a Pyro versus Pyro air blast battle. And it's going to be won at the moment by Feila, and June is caught. Guys, I have to run onto the flank as well. Incoming players. She's launched off the cliff. That is not the exit they would have wanted. There's a play onto Harry now, though. It's going to be Omga chasing him down, but the SMG comes out for Brian. It's enough.
Damn, like these are actually such exciting plays because players just tend to go, guys, we gotta pick this, focus the heavy, focus the demo, we have picks, come on, medic is being caught, and June goes down, so Ertanir and Joe tries to come back, and no, actually Yak and Honjo tries to come back, just play around it, just get a bit more players and peeks onto Harry, but it's not going to happen. So right now they have to stop a momentum coming from Feila, but still nonetheless, almost 3 minutes delay on first, which is extremely great, because if they can play their cards right, like second is already being given up, but if they can actually manage to scrap out like 2 more minutes on third, because they could have a proper hold, it's already well in the pocket of GABAGOOL. They just don't have to mess up. But yeah, it's easy to say nonetheless.
Yeah, very literal resistance. Honjo currently using that banner, keeps himself alive in what would otherwise been a very unfavourable 1v1 with a heavy weapons guy at close range. Raylan looking to go in for a pick, is spotted out just before the Uber comes in. Delps launch himself forwards, is launching Harry in towards the cliff. And a beautiful headshot by Wizard onto Harry as he tries to jump to safety. And Feila are holding here.
In the shambles. Ah, dang it. All we see is that Feila is either dominating or either folding like crazy. But what's more interesting is that they still get the cart time. They still manage to get cart onto the top flat area so it doesn't roll back, and being consistent on the objective. Like, that's what matters. It doesn't matter whether they actually just wipe out, as long as they can actually manage to get onto the objective. Wizard actually found the snipe onto Brian, so there's no sniper to worry about right now. A repush might happen from main. Delta is trying to peek off and give some aggression. Right now, Ertan is currently playing shithouse, and the cart is still being pressured up. Make sure it's not being pushed onto top. play for the objective, boys.
Came very, very close. And yeah, you're correct that despite all the frags that GABAGOOL were able to get those picks onto Yak and Omga, allowed so much cap time once more by Feila, and they're just rotating players. This time it's XUred and Brian standing on top of it. Uber is out for Harry once more. Ajay feigns away. They're not even going to be able to block the cut. But they do just about block the cut. It's very, very close. Spy cap will be enough, but the collapse comes in with the banner, with the
is so weak. Oh my god, Harry just died, and I don't know how, but Brian got saved eventually, or just respawned, I just didn't see, but whatever. Fail fed, and the card is still being not kept. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a spy try, and Omgar actually goes in for both frags. Actually, he doesn't fear, this guy just doesn't fear. Gets a Brian, gets Joe at the same time, and also managing to get out. Wait, is this a miracle play? Oh my god, this guy has like 200% of IQ at the moment. And Ajay goes for a stab. Nah, just fails to get the timing right onto the trick stab. But yeah, the cart is now being pressured. There's only Corey onto the cart, and right now they managed to lose their heavy at the moment. No tank, no pyro, no scout onto it. Uber is getting pressured out, and the cart is still not being kept. Like what? Yak doesn't notice the scout on the cart. Oh my god, what is happening? Like, it's literally on the edge of the point, and right now R30 manages to cap onto the point, but at the same time, GABAGOOL just fed the entire team onto protecting that last bit of time on third.
Yeah, they've got a decent amount of time on third, but the crucial thing is how much space are they going to give up in this tile. As you can see, not a single GABAGOOL player at the moment in the tiles area, everyone playing back at spawn. So no opportunity for any kind of aggressive hold. Venom just spamming Tomislav down from that doorway, but crucially Wizard is going to win that sniper 1v1, the most important duel in this tiles versus spawn hold scenario.
Actually manages to get Joe down too at the same time while winning up on tiles against Brian. This is going to be huge, since right now it's pretty much a reset from GABAGOOL. They actually got the gun up, there is no sniper to contest on top, so Feila has to reset either on main or try to pressure onto the cart. And right now what we see is that a moving sentry gun, thank you Wiethoofd, broken game, we love the source engine. And right now the pressure is coming in, Yak is being caught out, Joe is spamming the CJ spot, getting out Corey, and the cart is being pressured in. Omgar falls off the cliff, and right now Feila is playing onto it. Del actually just manages to get it, and also at the same time Uber is getting popped out. It's so much better. Gun. But please push onto the cart. But the same strategy is happening from Feila. Get as much HP on the cart as possible, so they cannot just spam you out.
Yeah, Feila's cart play this whole round was super impressive. Their combo was struggling a bit. They weren't really getting successful Ubers. They were struggling to keep Harry alive in the midst of team fights and post-Uber scenarios as well. But they were consistently having cart time. They were consistently getting picks onto Yak and making the most of it. Whenever Yak was down, that was, you know, a good 20 seconds where the cart was always moving.
Like, since this is the third round of this map, like, did you notice, Dave, that the time is being optimized? Like, this is the least at the moment. It's 7:51. It's always getting less and less and less, and more pressure is being built on both teams at the same time, while they are trying to fight their minds off to make sure that they win. But objective, play for that damn objective.
And yeah, this is real crunch time now. The final round to decide which of these two teams makes it into Premiership. 7:51 is the time. Pretty much, I'd say, slap bang average time for Upward. Either side could certainly win this. We'll have to see who holds firm and who secures their spot.
And right now, Ryan just started. Yak is waiting for the call to just go in. So there's currently Honjo. Yak is in, trying to get onto players, but at the moment he gets some nice damage onto Brian, but Harry is still safe and sound at the moment. Dispenser is getting built up. The Dispenser pick is one of the most important picks in Highlander. We all know that. The feed came out, and right now the respawns are out from GABAGOOL, so right now the car time is pretty good on its own, and this might be a second sack wave, what we are currently expecting, obviously. And while Yak is already being in, and managing to feed 3 players onto it. There's literally no damage done to Harry at the same time, while half of the team on GABAGOOL's side is pretty much dead.
The significant damage that's been done has been a Rantra, who's building up the battalion's backup. The unlock that Yak said before this game that he wanted to be banned, thinks it's OP. Very, very powerful. We've seen Honjo utilising the other banner, the Contra, to good effect. But the battalion's obviously makes you immune to those headshots, so very, very strong in a scenario like Highlander where that sniper is so powerful. It's going to be an Uber trade in from Kart at the moment, not too much going Venom. It's taken out Honjo, and I'm going to have some space in the playground area, and maybe with that one pick onto a heavy opportunity here for GABAGOOL to push forward. Or not. Maybe they'll just all die.
Yeah, they just decided to move onto the left flank, not managing Corey to get onto playground, so that is not going to open up any opportunities on top. So Feila actually just reclaimed top. The time is ticking, currently 6 minutes, what we are currently counting in. Honjo tries in for the second wave of it and fails to get the sink onto Brian. And right now, as you said, currently the battalions are getting out of hand. Currently all players are being protected on the side of Feila, and nothing is really breaking that whole stance on Feila at the moment. Oh, Wizard misses the crucial shot onto the engineer, might actually find the sniper shot, but fails to actually manage to break it down. And right now Yak is in with the massive pipes, getting immediate damage. Uber is getting popped out, but basically every single player is nearly being left out from the Uber. Like, X-Red is just going down, there's no engineer. Yak is already behind, it doesn't matter if he's going to die or not, but the aggression and the momentum is definitely coming in from GABAGOOL. First is being kept, and at the moment, there's no top control yet from the side of GABAGOOL. They might be just holding up.
I wonder if Yak's going to be annoyed that Honjo wasn't able to go forward, or his scout Omgo either was able to go forward and sack with him. There were only 2 players alive there for Feila, but Harry does get himself out there. A big heavy spawner coming in just in time from Venom to keep his med alive. Now that Uber's in, Yak though, putting sticky after sticky down into that spawn door. Brian's the only player he's able to claim. I think that'll be all she wrote for the second point. There's an Uber up for Harry, but with no demo, with no sniper, with no soldier. Those are big classes for any kind of team fight on any point of Highlander. So they'll go back to third. Honjo is already in behind.
Oh man, I want to see whether it's going to be an actual perfectly coordinated game. Did they even notice that Honjo is behind? Wizard is trying to sleep on the bait and actually manages to get Harry. While Harry trying to escape and go with the heavy into Banana, this is a huge advantage coming into the side of GABAGOOL. Honjo is still behind, lurking around, and just waiting onto players, probably waiting onto the medic, but being noticed at the same time, I'm pretty sure. And actually manages to find Raylin. Harry is up in 3 seconds, but Wizard is already on the court at the moment. And the court time is getting just put in, like, they are playing currently for the objective at the moment. Brian is trying to get the snipe onto Wizard, which is going to be crucial, going to open up a lot of space for Joe and Feila at the same time. Uber is getting popped out. Joan is getting dropped off the Uber. You have to focus down the soldier before he actually gets the battalion. But no, like, the cleanup is getting out. Delta is being picked up by Raylin, but the card time is actually insane. Kanga is trying to stop on the card itself, which is great because he's obviously playing for the objective, but Feila managed to feed a lot of players into that third hold. This might be it. A 3 minute, and Brian gets absolutely molded. No sniper on less. 20 seconds out for him.
That was a very unconventional play by Yak, but it worked out. He's able to take out Brian as he's trying to leave to spawn. Read Brian like a book, and the pipes come in. No sniper now for the defense. It's going to allow Wizard so much space up in this upper tiles area. The detonator being the only real thing contesting him right now. Just looking for one crucial peek.
Oh, and Jay actually manages to get the sneak peek being with the patient one. There's once again no medic. It was a drop, and right now the cleanup crew is happening from it. Almost falls into the pit. No sniper. Cleaning up is the most crucial one, while there's also cap time. Joe is up, might be able to put a lot of pressure onto the card, but you get your heavy, you get your scout and pyro, and this might be actually game over for Feila getting into the knockout match, while Gacky, Googmans, GABAGOOL going into the final not the final story, but Prem immediately securing the place.